So I don't think many people were really expecting this kind of teaser image, were they?
No, I don't think I was, in honesty, either. I was expecting more of a Nightmare Golden Freddy or puppets.
Yeah, that was the big debate, wasn't it? And I think everyone just about confirmed that that was possibly what we were going to be seeing, but when you look a bit closer, you may actually see a Nightmare animatronic entwined within. So, what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is other Ryan here.
And today we once again have a new interesting video for you all. And this one is talking about the new image, of course, on scottgames.com. So Scott has once again teased us with a new image. And this one is very interesting. It is the unmistakable purple Freddy hat, which is right in the center of 2 spotlights.
Yes, and I don't know, I wasn't really expecting this, to be honest, because when I look at this purple hat, straight away I thought of Shadow Freddy. But when we look at Shadow Freddy in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he's actually wearing a black top hat, so this must belong to someone else entirely, or maybe it's just a different hat for him.
Yeah, or maybe it could be the same model, but maybe Scott's developed this animatronic, which may hint towards this guy maybe being some kind of nightmare character.
Yeah, possibly.
Which I think would be very interesting. And I think another thing we need to look at as well is that the whole website is still carrying on with the color themes. ScottGames.com is now this really deep purple color, and it's just really interesting. It makes you think, is this in relation to the purple guy, or maybe Purple Freddy?
Yeah, I was thinking that it could possibly be from the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 minigames, when we see that Purple Freddy guiding you into the back room, and a lot of people thought that maybe it was the purple guy dressed up as Purple Freddy, and others believed it was like a ghost of this purple animatronic guiding you to get your soul freed almost. But I don't know, this kind of backs up the theory that maybe it is actually real.
And it is a legitimate animatronic, and maybe that also backs up when we spoke about the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Purple Freddy and someone being inside. That might have actually been the case, and someone was inside that animatronic.
Yeah, that was a previous theory that we've done before, actually. I think we said in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, when we see the white eyes in the parts and services room inside this Purple Freddy, that it could actually be someone within, which is pretty crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, and I think the best thing to do, guys, is for us to link this video so you can check this out and actually think about this in relation to this image. So the link will be on screen right now, and after that, we're now going to move over to the more interesting things within this image itself. So the first thing is that the spotlight that's shining on this purple hat seems to be a little bit warped. There's usually sort of like a proportion. If we think about the first time we saw the Freddy hat on the website, it had this circular shape to it. Now this one seems to have some kind of strange bulge to the side of it, and it makes me think that maybe there's a second light source actually shining on this light. And it actually, I suppose it's kind of confirmed because there's 2 different shades of light source, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think that originally on the hat image, when you brightened it up really bright, you can actually see 2 light sources coming in, but you can actually see it properly. Yeah.
And I suppose the look of the floor as well. The floor is a very similar design to what we saw on the Freddy hat, which means that these 2 hats may be in the same location, which would actually be very interesting because that means that whoever this hat belonged to, it might also represent that these guys are 2 separate characters, and that, as we've said before, the Purple Freddy character was not a hallucination, and it would just be interesting to see that these guys were all compacted into the same spot. Now, another thing I want to pick up straight away as well is what is actually in the reflection of the more bluish tinted light. Now, you can actually see a nightmare animatronic head, or at least you can see the teeth more clearly. If we flip the image upside down, you guys will be able to see it on the outskirts of the light. Now, what this actually makes me think is that maybe all of the previous nightmare images we've seen are in the exact same environment as this.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe this is a nightmare animatronic we've actually seen already, or maybe it could just be a new one entirely.
Something that really interested me, though, is the fact that these 2 elements of the Purple Freddy character seem to be missing, but of course on the Nightmare Freddy character, the hat was actually on the floor, and that may have been his, and then he may have picked it up, and of course the damage may have entwined after that with the sharpness of his fingers. But I think what we've got to think about more is that these newer animatronics, they seem to not be wearing their elements as much, so this might actually mean that the reflection we're seeing here could possibly be a Nightmare Purple Freddy, but that is very debatable, and there's absolutely been nothing confirmed in the way of this so far.
The fact that Purple Freddy as a whole, loads of people thought it was just a hallucination, but this kind of backs up that maybe it must be real, obviously, but it's very different. Like I said, like the Shadow Freddy we see in the past and services has a black hat, this one has a purple hat with a stripe going through it. It's like introducing a new character entirely.
Absolutely, and I think something going back towards the Nightmare animatronic quickly is that also if we look carefully, we can actually see 2 white dots, and this might be the animatronic awake. It might actually be fully functional, and something which really caught my eye with this, and it's easy to miss, is that there's actually no nightmare text on this image, which might mean that these nightmare animatronics could be existing in the actual real life cycle of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza rather than it being some kind of hallucination.
We had a discussion that maybe this hat could belong to the purple guy. Maybe the purple guy was the actual owner of Fredbear's Diner, and Like
Absolutely.
I said, that there's grandmasters and circuses that go around with top hats and bow ties, introducing their acts.
There will be a unique colour, won't they?
Yeah, and that's what I mean, and it feels very strange.
There's limited knowledge here and limited information given to us, but we have to try and piece together what we have and try and make as much sense as we can out of it. Okay, now we're going to be talking about the text in the bottom right-hand corner of this new teaser image. Now, there's a big black smudge that seems to be covering the main portion of this text, so we, as theorists, are left to kind of decide what this might represent. Now, there is actually an E and an R on the end, so there's only really one thing that could mean.
And that would be Fredbear's Family Diner.
Yes, now, we know that the newer chains are called Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, and a Z and A, it doesn't fit at all, does it?
No, and well, it's commonly referred to as the Fazbear Entertainment, the whole brand in general, isn't it? And, you know, obviously that's an N and a T.
So it's still not fitting, and it seems like the only thing that really fits is the Fredbear's Family Diner chain, and that's interesting that it's still claiming property over these, and it does make you think, because in the inspect element, the 8s and 7s are still there, and we know that the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is still a new opening, so maybe this could have been just before the rights to this new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was actually bought, and these could have still been the property of Fredbear's Family Diner. It really does make you think, and I suppose one more thing we should think about is the Purple Freddy is actually seen in the new establishment in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but there is no mention of him, so what about if this is the last remaining element of Fredbear's Family Diner?
Like I was saying before, the phone guy was trying to get in touch with the original diner. Maybe this is the reason why. Maybe they've got this animatronic suit, they don't know what to do with it almost.
It makes you think that there must be something a bit corrupt going on, because if in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 game we can actually see this Purple Freddy character, that means he must be sneaking into the establishment.
Oh yeah, possibly.
So there we have it, guys. There's once again another interesting video for you all. This one was of the new teaser image that is currently on scottgames.com. Feel free to check it out yourself, guys, and also be sure to comment down below what you personally think to this image.
Yes, and if you guys did enjoy this video, why not leave a like rating down below? And if you're new around here, why not subscribe for more theories and suggestions like this, and also some gameplay.
So thank you very much for watching the video, guys, and we'll of course see you on the next one.
Goodbye, guys.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?